Yes. God, that's jarring. Hey everybody, Pixel here, and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we got ourselves a sword and shield in Kokiri Forest and talked to the Great Deku Tree, who's telling us to go inside of him to break a curse, and if there's ever something that is more uncomfortable than him telling me to go inside him, I'm just gonna have to say that it's the fact that this dungeon is actually legitimately named Inside the Deku Tree. This is our first dungeon. Pretty typical Zelda dungeon, honestly. It's just full of grass and enemies. But it's the first 3D dungeon in the series, and that's cool. We got ourselves Deku Nuts. These are pretty good, actually. I do like these items. You throw them, you stun enemies. It's that simple. You can use them to force Deku Babas into a vertical position, which makes them easier to kill. Although apparently not that much easier. Okay. If you kill them while they aren't in a vertical position, they drop Deku Nuts. Otherwise, they will drop Deku Sticks. I'm gonna climb up this ladder. Do a cool flip. Except not really, because this is early Nintendo 64. Cool flips aren't legal yet. Look at this wall. The vines growing on it give it a rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, Link. I would love to climb it, but unfortunately, we have some new enemies. These are Skulltulas, specifically wall Skulltulas. If you've watched my channel for any of the past, 4 series, you'll know that I am terrified of spiders. But weirdly enough, these Skulltulas are an exception, even though they're, objectively scarier than real spiders. These things aren't that creepy, and you know, it might just be because this is an old game, but opening this treasure chest... You got a map! This is the dungeon map, so with this, we can open the menu, and we can see a map of everywhere in the entire tree. It's pretty helpful. I don't really ever use the map, but... I mean, I do. Last time I played through this game, I was playing the 3DS version. You can open a door by standing in front of it and pressing A. Thanks. The button prompt totally wouldn't have told me what to do. Thanks, Navi. New enemy. Deku Scrub, I believe. Yep, Deku Scrub. Essentially what you're going to want to do, put up your shield, shoot the nut back at it, and get close to it. Ow, ow, forgive me, Master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward, you'll roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it will work, though, if the cliff is really, really high. Well, try it if you're feeling bold. Sorry if that clipped the mic. I'm a little unsure of what's going to clip the mic and what's not. It's been a while since I've recorded in this setup. Alright. We have a chest over there, a floating platform, and if a platform's floating, you can bet it's going to fall. The slingshot. This is essentially the bow for now. You may have saw we can buy arrows at the store. We can't actually buy them now, but it's possible to get arrows later in the game, which kind of spoils that there will be a bow. For now, though, we just have a slingshot. A little dinky slingshot, because we're a little small child boy. We Z-target something and use the C button. Can knock down that ladder. You can also aim in first person if you just hold the C stick without Z targeting something. I really don't like the aiming in this game, and that's going to be an issue if I do decide to 100% it for this Let's Play, because aiming is required. Alright. Now that we have that, though, maybe we can do something about these Skulltulas. Yeah, you can't make this shit up. Skulltula. You think they could come up with something more creative given the fact that it's a billion-dollar company? I don't know if it was $1 billion in the 90s, but I'd assume it is because the Nintendo Entertainment System was very popular. Got 3 rupees for killing that one. Are there any more? No. They will target you and knock you off the wall if you are climbing while they're still alive, so you're extremely unlikely to be able to make it up here without the slingshot, and the slingshot is required to finish the dungeon, so yeah. If you can sequence break that, though, please tell me. Like, show me on Twitter. Tweet at me. Here we have Big Skulltula. I don't know why they had to differentiate big Skulltulas from normal Skulltulas, but they saw the need, and God bless them for it. You can take that down. And it doesn't give anything. Those will sometimes give Deku Seeds, which are the ammo for the slingshot. We head in here. You can see we have a Skulltula over there. We have this, and we have this. But we also have this. Interesting fact, that symbol on that button was actually very similar to the Islamic moon. I don't really know what the symbol is called. I apologize if that offends anybody, but yeah, it was very similar to that in 1.0 version of Ocarina of Time. It was changed in all further versions, and yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. This is, I believe, the 1.0.3? I'm not an expert on Ocarina of Time by any means, but that sounds right. Okay, that doesn't knock him down. Come here. Man, this is really awkward to control with a GameCube controller. Never thought I'd see the day where I'd prefer to have an N64 controller over a GameCube one. Turn around. Thanks. You're dead. Still not dropping anything. Alright, well, there's more in this room, and we need to press the button again. Jump on this platform, and this platform. You can't Z-target this, but it's called a gold Skulltula. You destroyed a gold Skulltula! You got a token proving you destroyed it. That's important for later. There are 100 of them throughout the game, and there are 3 of them in this dungeon, so I will be getting all of them just because I have memorized where they are. Recovery heart in this chest, probably not important if you're decent at the game, because most of these enemies kind of wait for you to hurt them before they can hurt you. I want to light this torch using a Deku Stick. That is their secondary use I talked about earlier. And what now? We have a compass that shows us where all the chests and stuff throughout the dungeon are. We have the map, we have the slingshot, and we have our first gold Skulltula token. What else could possibly be required? Well, I'm not risking this version of this attempt, of this trick. The easiest way to do this without really having a chance to mess up is by, of course, lighting this, but not putting the stick away, keeping it open. Okay, never mind. Apparently it doesn't last that long. I'm almost certain it's possible to do it that way in the 3DS version, but it didn't work this time, so I'm just gonna have to go for broke. Let's go. God damn it. See you guys back up at the top. Let's do it. For real this time. There we go. You hit it from far enough up, the web will break and you'll be brought down here. See a gold Skulltula there. Didn't mean to activate that torch, but okay. There's a chest behind it. Chest has priority over Skulltula for now. And it's just a recovery heart. That was worthless. Right. Let's just shoot this. They take 2 hits for some reason. I don't know why, because they can't really do anything. Get ourselves a gold Skulltula token again. Alright, that is our second one. We can hear there is something around. Yep, there's also a gold Skulltula on this web. This is the third out of the 3. Let's just take it down and climb up this web to get the token. Alright. Pretty easy. Again, typical first Zelda dungeon, pretty easy. Not much in the way of ways to mess up. But you want to light this, head over here, hopefully don't get hit by the Deku Baba, and burn this web. Fight me. There we go. Got ourselves some nuts. Santa's going nuts! Alright, let's head through this door. And we have yet another Deku Scrub. Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. You will never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punish them in the proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1! 23 is number 1. Do you think I'm a traitor? I mean, you are a traitor, by definition. Man, I wonder what I am meant to shoot in order to open this door. Let's head through. This room. After you get into the water, if you hold down A, you can dive. I bet there are some interesting things underwater. Actually, no. There's one interesting thing underwater, at least in this dungeon. Okay, let's actually dive in the right place. You may see the button underwater, hopefully. I'm gonna press that. That will lower the water level. I'm gonna move over here. Looks like that platform's gonna move away too quickly. Yeah. I don't like that you have to time that in order to do it well, but whatever. Let's go. Alright. There we go. You have to take out this Skulltula too. Like, we've been seeing a lot of Skulltulas and Babas and Scrubs here. I'm wondering if they are ever going to introduce us with a new enemy. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Thanks, Navi. I totally do not know how to push block. Oh my god, I hate that you can't skip Navi's text. As you can see, the text speed in the Nintendo 64 version of this game is unbearably slow. I do not like it. No, no, no. Okay, I'm gonna push this block. That grass grows back really quickly. Okay. Climb up. Climb up again. And head through here. Alright, we just have a couple Deku Babas in here. And they exist purely to give you sticks because they are of the variety that stay in a vertical position for way too long. Stabbing them while they're in the vertical position is what does that. To stab, you just have to Z target and hold forward while you're using your sword. Alright. We got all the sticks we need. I think it's quite obvious what we have to do. This is an issue I see with a lot of Zelda puzzles, specifically in Ocarina of Time, is they just rely too heavily on easily observable facts about runes, but whatever. It's all about the mystery, right? Alright. Turn. Good. We look up. See those larva sacs. If you walk under these and wait for long enough, they eventually hatch into an enemy called Gohma larva. Or larvae. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I'm struggling to break them, so I'm probably just gonna let them do their thing. Let's take out this Deku Baba. The enemies that hatch from them aren't, like, the hardest thing in the world to destroy, but it's always nice to take them out before they hatch. I'm not entirely sure how aiming here works. Thanks, Baba. You didn't have to spawn, but you did. Alright. There we go. Okay. These are the weirdest enemies, Gohma larva. Look out when it gets ready to pounce. This is probably the enemy you're the least likely to see in any room for a while. Just because it's so easy to avoid the larva actually hatching. But, I mean, if they do, yeah, they're the most difficult enemy we've seen so far, and I really like them. I don't actually like them, I just like, you know, it's a tough enemy. I'll bring this over here, burn this, and fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you! Okay. Can't go through this wall because it is not a door, so let's go break the other web using fire. I like how there's Deku Babas all over the place just in case you fuck up and run out of sticks, but let's head through here. Alright. When I get this, just put it right in our hands. And just push it. This thing is like twice the size of Link. It looks extremely heavy. How is he able to move this at all, let alone all the way over here and off a cliff? We do need to push it off the cliff though, because we need fire. And there's not any torches that are low enough on that side that we can light a stick on fire. Want to just roll over this with a flaming stick and fall to your death. Except there's water. Water's green though, so you can't really tell it's there. Now, we have 3 Deku Scrubs. 23 is number 1. Yes, shoot at me. Thank you. Shoot at me. Thank you. Shoot at me. Shoot at me. Thank you. How did you know our secret? How irritating! It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Gohma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Gohma, strike with your sword when she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. And there we go. Let's check just to make sure I've gotten everything up to this point. What am I missing? Why is there a slot up there? There's a chest over there. I have the map and compass, though. And I have all 3 Skulltula tokens, and I have the Deku Seeds. Whatever. I'll come back for that later. Maybe. No. Okay. Let's head here. This room was the bane of my existence when I first played the game. Because once you walk in here, and the door closes, things get a whole lot darker. And for some reason, I couldn't see the massive glowing eyeball. Parasitic armored arachnid Gohma. Our first boss is pretty simple. She'll just kind of follow you around for a bit. You want to keep Z targeting her and have your slingshot ready. Okay, you can... Okay, or that. That works too. Climb around on the ceiling. Eventually, her eye will turn red. That's when you want to shoot her and get her to fall. Then just do a ton of jump attacks. These do a ton of damage to her. Like, you can finish this in one cycle, as you just saw. in her place is a heart container. This increases your maximum health by 1. And a giant blue portal. This is the cause of a glitch. Well done, Link. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell ye, wouldst thou listen? Sure. Now, listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. The evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorceress powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Naru, the goddess of wisdom, and Furor, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Neru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Furor, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There, thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take the stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the Great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Navi the fairy, Help Link to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Link. Goodbye, Great Deku Tree.